All right. So let us start. In the previous session, we started off with this application calculator because we had enough what do you say beginning part of GUI where we have seen couple of layout managers like grid layout, flow layout, box layout, border layout, etc. And we have seen few components like what is a frame, that is a J frame. It's a container, top level container, and text field. What is a text field we have seen, which takes input and buttons. What is a J button? So in Swing, all components starts with J, standing for Swing components, because AWT components directly start with frame, text field without J. Okay, so that is a major difference between AWT and Swing components, because Swing components are nothing but they are not directly affecting the, or they don't take directly OS standards, underlying operating system standards, to print the components. It's just like a virtual machine on top of the operating system. Java Swing package is nothing but it acts virtually on top of the operating system, underlying operating system. I'm getting Sai has entered the waiting room. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I lost connection.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right. So this is the application that we have seen in the last session. So here we are starting calculator, and we know we have to import two packages, javax.swing, java.awt.event. So it's a calculator test action listener implements JFrame. So we require, as we have seen, in order to implement a sample calculator, we require a text box or a text field, and we need buttons. Okay, a sample GUI would look something like this. We have numbers ranging from up to 9. Numbers ranging from 0 to 9. And operators plus addition, subtraction, and multiplication. These are the basic operations that would consider. Okay. So here it is, like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 0. Now here let's say operators. We have operators like plus, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and you can use enter or clear, CLR, clear. Okay, equal to, because this is an important one, or else equal to you can use. And on top you require a text box to enter the data. To enter the data, you require a text box, and then let's say in order to clear the contents, you can use clear. Here let us use clear to clear the text what we have written. Let's say 1 plus 2 plus 3 like that. Okay, so this is a simple GUI kind of application. We want to design a GUI in Swing, design a calculator using Swing components, using Swing components. Let us save this. All right, so here let's start. This is a JFrame class. You know, it's a top level component and it is text field to enter data. And these are all the different buttons that we require to represent numbers and special characters. These are all buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these operators, arithmetic operators, all we require in order to represent these buttons are used in order to represent the numbers. Now here we are taking two static variables for calculation of the values and to store operand values. This is to store operand values. To add numbers and special characters. Buttons are used to store or to add numbers and arithmetic operators. We use buttons in order to add numbers and arithmetic operators. This is to enter text, to enter values or numbers. And this A equal to 0, B equal to 0, result equal to 0 is to enter operand values, operand and result values. Operator is to store arithmetic operator. So these are the prerequisites. One is to enter the value, we require a text field. A frame is required as a top level container, and we require buttons to use to add numbers and perform like multiplication, addition, deleting the operator and saving equal to operator, clear operator, what all we have given here. Clear operator, equal to operator, addition, division. So in order to store all these things, we are taking all these variables, and to store the numbers, like whatever operands we want to use in between the operators, we have to take A and B. And especially we are taking this operator to compare whether it is a plus or minus or division in a switch case. Okay. So let us take a calculator constructor because class name is calculator test. So inside the constructor, we want to initialize all these components. We know this. Frame equal to new JFrame, text field equal to new JText field, button B1 equal to new button 1. Okay. And we have to pass the names of these buttons 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 0, and division, multiplication, subtraction, addition, and in order to store decimal values, we have taken dot also. We have taken dot operator also. And to represent equal to assignment. After performing arithmetic, in order to assign the value, we have to use equal to operator, and to delete the values, we have taken one button, and to clear the values, we have taken one more button. Okay. Now, after taking all these components, we are using set bounds method. Set bounds method in order to lay out the components manually. Set bounds method is used. Set bounds method is used, set bounds method is used in order to, set bounds method is used in order to lay out the components. Set bounds method is used in order to lay out the components physically or manually. And these are coordinates, x coordinates and y coordinates. X coordinates and y coordinates. This is length and width. This is width and this is height, width and height. Okay, so set bounds method is used in order to physically lay out the components x coordinate, y coordinate, followed by width comma height. So it places this particular text box in this particular XY coordinate location, same as with button 7, button 8, button 9. So all these components, if you see. So physically, we are placing the components manually. We are using set bounds methods. We are placing the components manually. And then we are adding all the components. Next, what are we doing? We are adding all the components. Adding all the components to the J-frame or container. J-frame or top level container or top level container. Next, we know we have added all these components and then we are saying set null, set layout to null. Why? Because we have to set the layout to null. Why? Because by default it takes flow layout. By default frame takes flow layout. We doesn't want that. That is the reason why we have to set it to null. Because JFrame takes flow layout as default. So we have to nullify. So it must be nullified. Why? Because we are manually adding the components to XY coordinates. Why we have to nullify? Because we are using set bounds method. We are using set bounds method which will manually arrange the elements based on this coordinates. So whenever we use coordinates in order to lay out the components, whenever we use or whenever we specify manually to lay out the components using set bounds method, we have to set the layout manager to null. We have to set the layout manager to null. Okay. Next, we know this set visible. Every frame by default it is not visible, so it should be made visible. Set visible to true. Set size is 350 by 500, and this we know set default close operation. So when we click on the close button, that is in a frame window, when we click on the close button, the frame should close. Now set resizable to false. We should not be able to resize the frame. Now this till here it's a important and must procedure. And now here comes how to handle this operation. That is when you hit on the plus, it should identify you have clicked plus. When you selected 1, when you selected 2 numbers, the JVM has to identify or Swing API has to identify you have selected the values. Now this is where your GUI part comes, event handling. So what are we doing? Button 1 dot. Now after creating buttons, after adding them to the frame and after setting the frame details like whether what is the layout, what is the visibility, what is the size, your next part is you have to add or register the components. You have to register the components in order to handle the events. So this is nothing but registering components to handle events. Okay, so B1 dot add action listener. Now what is the source? This represents frame here. Okay, this represents frame. See here, add action listener take action listener L. Okay, so public void action listener, action listener. Now what is this here? This represents to action listener or current object. Adds an action listener to the button. Adds, this method adds an action listener to the button. Similarly, to all buttons, we have to add action listeners. Button 1 dot add action listener. Button 1 dot add action listener. Now what is this action listener? Let's see, sir. Let's see its API, what is given by Sun Oracle. So this is the official document. You can refer https docs oracle.com Java SE version 8. It's an API. We can refer, even you can refer off sessions, or even when you are in your organization, when you have joined any job also, you can refer. It's an official document. See, it's an interface. Action listener is an interface. We have seen in the previous sessions what is an interface. So public interface action listener. Now the listener interface for receiving action events. Action listener is an interface for receiving action events. The class that is interested in processing an action event implements this interface. The class that is interested in processing an action event implements this interface, and the object created with that class is registered with the component. See, this line is important. And the object created with that class is registered with a component using the component's add action listener method. That is why we passed the parameter as this. This always refers to current object. So here, whenever the listener interface is used in order to handle the events, now it is whose responsibility? It is the responsibility of the class that implements this interface. Now who is implementing this? Calculator test is implementing the interface, isn't it? Calculator test is implementing the interface. Now it is calculator test's responsibility in order to handle the events. So in what way it will handle, in what way it will show its responsibility? By giving the objects. So this class object should be responsible for handling the event. That is the reason why we have to pass b1 dot add action listener this. This always refers to frame object. This refers to JFrame object. Why? Because, or you can say calculator underscore test object. Okay, calculator underscore test. Now what are we using? Class calculator test. So instead of writing here JFrame, you can say calculator text. Refers to calculator test object. So here it is, this object of calculator test is responsible in order to handle the event. Now for all the buttons we have taken this. Buttons up to 0 to 9, and then addition, button division, button multiplication, subtraction, deletion, equal to, clear, and decimal. Okay, all these buttons. Now the only one method that we have in action listener interface is action performed. In action listener you have a method called action performed. You can see here all methods. In the list of all methods you have only one method, that is action performed. This is called as a functional interface because functional interfaces will have one abstract method. So this interface has got action performed method, and the parameter it takes is action event. This method is invoked when an action occurs. This gets invoked when an action occurs. So here we have to override. Since this class implements action listener, we are supposed to implement action performed method. So public void action performed action event E. Public void action performed action event E. Now if E dot get source. Now get source is a method in order to get source method. Get source method will get source method will refer to the object that generates the event. Okay, get source method will refer to the object that generates the event. So if E dot get source is button 1, then what we are supposed to do? If I click on the button 1, what am I supposed to do? Let us say B1. Now let's say this is B1. Now when I click on this B1, what should happen? It should enter 1 in this text field. It should enter 1 in this text field. When I click this, okay? When I click on button 1, what should happen? When I click on button 1, it should be entering in. When I click on 1, it should enter in the text field. Okay, it should enter in the text field. If I click on 5, let's say. If I click on 5, what should happen? It should be entering 5. If I click on 5, it should enter 5. Let's say if I click on 5, it should enter 5. Okay, so in that way, we have to write the application. Once whatever we click, it should be entering 5. Once we click on, it should be able to enter, it should be able to display 5 on the text field. Okay, so that for that reason we are saying if E dot get source equal to button 1 text field dot set text. You have set text method for almost all components like text area, text button. Okay, so T dot set text, what you will set? T dot get text dot concatenate 1. Okay, so if you have any previous text in the text box, you please get that text dot get text dot concat 1. Why? Because your source is button 1. Okay, your source is button 1. You understood this logic? Whatever is available in the set text, that is whatever is available in the text box, first we have to read it. We have to get it using the get text method. T dot get text dot concatenate 1. Why 1? Because your source object is the event or the click is on the button 1. So you have to concatenate that 1. For example, if at all you have to type 15 plus 20, how do you do? 1 you will click and then you will click 5. So 1 dot concatenate button 1. What is there? 1. So 11. That will be set to the text field. So similarly, if E dot get source equal to button 2, T dot set text, T dot get text dot concatenate. The same fashion. Okay. So let's see. Now we have written for all buttons, we have to write this. Okay. For decimal, E dot get source equal to, if it is B decimal, get text dot concatenate set text. And now here comes operators. Okay. If E dot get source is addition. Now what you have to do? Addition means double dot parse double. This is double dot parse double is used in order to convert string values into numeric values. Parsing the values, because in a text field when we type, we are entering them as strings. In a text field when we are adding, when we are concatenating, or whenever we are entering the data, it is taking it as strings. So in order to convert the string value into numeric, you have to use double dot parse double. So please t dot get the text and convert it to a double value and then assign it to a. Now if operator equal to 1, addition means operator is made as 1. Okay, we have taken a static variable operator. We have taken a static variable operator. So operator will be either addition, multiplication or division. So if e dot get source equal to add, if at all you click on the add button, plus button, now what you are supposed to do, operator equal to 1. Now t dot set text to null. T dot set text. Now if e dot get source equal to subtraction, same way, operator equal to 2 and t dot set text to empty. If get source is multiplication, same thing. Get the text from the text box, you parse it to a double value and then set the operator to 3. If at all it's a division, set the operator to 4. Get the text and assign it to a value, that is operand 1. This is a is operand 1. Now, if e dot get source is equal to, if e dot get source is equal to method, if you clicked on equal to, then double dot parse double t dot get text and assign it to b. It is second operand. Okay, when after entering the second value only you will click equal to, isn't it? So if e dot get source is equal to, then b equal to double dot parse double t dot get text, and then here you use switch operator. Switch, if the operator is plus, you return a plus b. If it is case 2, it is a minus b. If it is case 3, a minus a multiplication. So like this, you perform all these operations. Now what is the case value here? Operator. Operator has what are the values? A maximum of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then t dot set text to result. Okay. If e dot get source is clear, empty the text box. If e dot get source equal to delete, now t dot get text to string and t dot set text to null. Okay, t dot set text to null. For int I equal to 0, I less than string dot length I minus minus. T dot set text to t dot get text, like you entered the number and then you are clearing one number. So in that situation, it will use this operation. That is the reason why we are deleting caret I, individual character we are deleting from the calculator in the text box. Clear means all will be cleared at once. So let us execute this program. Any doubts in this? And here is our main method. We have to simply call the constructor of the class and it will execute this particular application. Because we have written in a constructor, we have initialized all the components in a constructor. And if any event is generated, automatically it will call action performed method. So that is the reason why from the main method we are calling only calculator test. Are we clear so far?
Yes.
Okay, let us execute this. So since we are manually placing all the components using XY coordinates, this is how they are displayed. And on top you have a text field. Now let's say you are entering 12. Okay, you are entering, or let's say 123. Okay, 123. If I click on clear, the complete information is lost. 123. Let's say delete. See, 11 letter, it is deleting. 11 number, it is deleting. 446. So it is taking character at index and then it is setting the text to previous text without one character. That is for loop we are taking minus minus. So it will lesser the characters in a string, and then it will display once we click on the delete button. Okay, that is the difference between clear and 25. Clear means all the text will be lost because text field dot get text is null. But whereas if it is delete, you are reading one number by number you are reading, and then you are removing one character and setting the text. Removing one character and setting the text. Okay, this is a logic here. Now let's come to our original arithmetic. Now 45 is set to a value. When it will be set to a value? When I click a operator. When I click a operator, 45 is assigned to operand A. And then next, I'm taking 12. Okay. Now when this will be set to B operand, when I click equal, and then it will give the result. A plus B equal to result. Is this part clear? 55 let us take. Now let us clear the operation. 55 is set to a value. When it will set to a value? When I click minus, because minus is an operator. Okay, minus is an operator. Next, I need a second operand. B value I want. What I want to subtract? I want to subtract a B value minus B value from A value. So A has got 55. And next, let us take 5. Now this will be assigned to value B. When it will be assigned to B? When I click on equal to, and then it does the operation. Is this part clear?
Yeah.
5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5, which is equal to 25. 9 divided by 3, which is equal to 9 divided by 3 is giving 8.3. Okay, what you will get when you divide it by 3? Instead of modulo, 9 divided by 3 equal to, it is 3.0. Randomly, I mean the text was not cleared properly. Okay, so clear. Now 50 divided by 2, which is equal to 25. Okay, so you can work out this. You can add more operations, like you can make it as a scientific calculator by adding components like trigonometric functions like cos value, sine value, tan value, tangent value, cotangent, cosine, and you can take all these components here and you can add log functions. You can add what is the log value of 25, square root value. You can add all those components and you can extend this application. Any doubts in this application?
Yeah.
Shall we move on to the next application?
Sure.
All right, let me close this. Okay, we have color chooser by default. Okay, this is, you have a predefined color chooser option in Java Swings package. Okay, in Java Swings package, you have a default color chooser. Let us execute this. So this is a color chooser. This is predefined. We have not written any code to implement all these things, but the only thing what we have done is we can write the content here. We can use this JColor chooser, a built-in application in our applications to choose the color and apply. For example, whichever color you choose, it will be applying. The text content is changing. whichever color you choose. Okay, so this is a J color chooser which you have, and let's see what all we have taken here. Public class swing color chooser test extends panel. Now just like frame, you also have a top level component called JPanel. JPanel is a generic lightweight container. For example, and task oriented documentation for JPanel. Okay, you can refer a documentation what is JPanel. Okay, so it's on the bottom line, it is simply a top level container just like a frame. We usually place panel inside a frame. We usually place a panel inside frame, means a frame can be divided into multiple panels. A frame can be divided into multiple panels. Okay, so let us take this protected J color chooser and J label. So it is a predefined class. J color chooser is a predefined class, provides a pane of controls designed to allow a user to manipulate and select a color. Okay, so it's a predefined class. We can utilize in any of our applications in order to select the color. This class provides 3 levels of API. A static convenience method which allows a model color chooser dialog and returns the color selected by the user. A static convenience method for creating a color chooser dialog where action listeners can be specified to be invoked when the user presses one of the buttons. So means we can also apply events, like when you click on a button you want one color, when you release the button you want one color, when you mouse over. Okay, so like this you have different, means this J color chooser class can also handle events. On the bottom line we can say J color chooser, which is a predefined class, can also handle events according to your application requirements. Now label. Label is another component which is used in order to display the text. Okay, you can use a display area for a short text string or an image or both. And the most important thing is a label does not react to input events. You cannot handle events on the labels. They are static. They are static. Okay, means they are used, labels are used only for display purpose. Labels are used only for display purpose. You cannot generate events on the labels. That is the most important thing. That is a major difference between buttons and labels. Buttons can respond to events. Labels cannot respond to events. They are static. Okay. Now here you are using color chooser and label. Okay. So what is a label name? Banner you are giving. So here it is a constructor. Inside the constructor you are saying super new border layout. So here you are calling a border layout. You are setting the layout as border layout. Okay. Now see what is a banner label that we have given. New J label. Welcome to the Java Swings. Okay. Welcome to the Java Swings. So here let us see the execution once again. Yeah, here we go. So this is a label, welcome to the Java Swings. This is a J label what we have given. Okay, and banner dot set background, set foreground yellow. So this is a yellow color. Set background blue color. So color is again a predefined class which we can use in order to set the colors of, or in order to use the colors we have to call this particular color class. Okay, next banner dot set opaque to true. Banner dot, so opaque means light color. Set font, new font sans serif. Font is again a predefined class. We are setting the font. See java dot awt dot font. Font is a predefined class which is used to set the font type of font to the text, to the underlying text or to the underlying component. Now here, what is the underlying component to the banner, which is a J label? We want to set the font, we want to set its background, we want to set its foreground. Foreground is nothing but text color. Text color. Okay. Foreground is text color and this is label color. Foreground means label background. Opacity. It talks about opacity. Set opaque. If true, the component paints every pixel within its bounds. Otherwise, the component may not paint some or all of its pixels, allowing the underlying pixels to show through. Okay, so it should be made true. Next, set preferred size. What is the size of the banner? So since the banner is a label, you can set the font of the banner, background color of the label, background, font, what font you want to be displayed on the banner, and what is the size of the banner. Now this banner is what? It is of type label. Now dimension is again a predefined class. Dimension, width, comma, height. So we have used all predefined classes. We haven't created any user defined class. JLabel is a predefined class. Color is a predefined class. Color is predefined. Font is predefined. Dimension is predefined. Okay. So all these are predefined classes we have used in order to decorate our label box. Okay. In order to decorate our label, we have used. Similarly, JPanel. Just now we have seen it is a generic lightweight container. For example, and task-oriented documentation. Okay, you can refer. Swing is not thread safe. For more information, you have to use swing threads policy. Okay. Already it is talking about multi-threading. Let's leave. So for instance, let us stop the discussion of panel here only because it is simply an object, or you can say it's a container just like a frame. You can place a panel inside a frame, or you can place one or two panels inside a frame. Okay, so panel is again used here, which is a predefined class. Banner panel dot add, you are adding. Okay, now to the panel you are adding this particular label box. And what is the layout that you are setting? Center. Border layout dot center. Border layout dot center. Similarly, set border. Border panel dot border you are setting. Border factory dot create title border. Swing color chooser. Swing color chooser. Okay, so here see swing color chooser. Swing color chooser is what you are giving as title border. And then TCC. What is this TCC? J color chooser. Okay, it is J color chooser. J color chooser equal to new J color chooser banner dot get foreground. You are trying to get the font color of the banner. Get selection model, add change listener. If you change the color, you have to register. In order to change the color, you have to register it with the listener class. Okay, so get selection model dot add change listener. This again refers to object, current object, which is we are talking about. So what is the current object? It is J color chooser test. So if at all you make any changes on this color chooser, you please handle that events. That is what the meaning here. If any changes made on the color chooser, events are handled accordingly. And just put on top of this line. Okay, so get selection model dot add change listener this, and banner dot, this is J color chooser dot set border. You are setting the border, and border add the banner panel border layout dot center, and add, first you are adding the panel and then you are adding this TCC object. Okay, dot TCC comma border layout dot page end. Where you want to add? You want to add it at the end. The component comes after the last line of the layout's content. And here you are adding the panel at the center. Public void state change event. When you change the event, when the event will be arised when you change the color. So color, new color equal to TCC dot get color and banner dot set foreground to new color. So here whenever we are changing the color, it is setting because of set changed color. See here it is changing and here it is changing because of this methods. State changed, public void state changed. What are we doing? TCC. What TCC refers to? TCC is an object of what? TCC is an object of what here? Look. TCC is referring to JColorChooser. Okay. So it is a object of JColorChooser. So TCC dot get color, JColorChooser dot get color and make it as a new color. And what you do with that new color? You are changing the color. Okay. TCC dot get color. When you will get that color? When you change the color. Okay. You are getting that color. Now what you are doing with that color? Set foreground for the banner, which is a label dot set foreground means change the font color to this blue color. Okay. That is the reason why it is changing the banner text content here. Is this clear? Now jframe dot set default look and feel this is. And from the main method, what are we doing? Public static void main javax dot swing utilities. Swing utilities is a collection of utility methods which is executed as a thread here. That is important, which is executed as a thread. Javax dot swing utilities dot invoke later new runnable public void run create and show GUI. What is this create and show GUI? This is invoking this particular method. This is invoking. We are executing this example as a thread. In the main method, we use javax dot swing utilities is a collection of utility methods from Swing API. And from that, we have one method called invoke later. Invoke later, new runnable of public void run create and show GUI. Now this GUI method we are running as a thread. Okay, we are running as a thread. This GUI method, create and show GUI method, we are running as a thread. Okay, so we have written anonymously. We have implemented new runnable inside the parameter. This is nothing but anonymous methods. So in create and show, what is there? Private void create and show GUI. Okay. Now here jframe dot set default look and feel decorated means we are just arranging that frame to be look good. Okay. This is only to apply internal standards for the frame. Let it be a size of the frame or the bordering of the frame, the color opacity of the frame. Now jframe frame equal to new jframe of, now this is a frame title, frame label, swing color chooser test, swing color chooser test, this one on top, swing color chooser test, this is the frame title. This is a frame title that we have taken. So first we have taken as frame to apply the default look and feel, and then we are setting the color of the frame, and frame dot set a default close operation. We know this in order to close the frame, and J component new content pane equal to new swing color chooser test. Okay. Now here we are setting up the content pane. Okay. It's just like in order to, what you say, it is like adding the panel. Okay. Content pane is nothing but J component. Now what is J component here? It is a predefined component. Okay. It is a predefined component. J component is nothing but it is a predefined component. See, the base class for all Swing components except top level containers. Except top level container is what? Frame. So except frame, this J component is acting as a base component. Now what we are adding to it, we are adding to that a content pane. Usually J component new content pane equal to new Swing color chooser test. Okay, so what is Swing color chooser? This one, our class. Swing color chooser test means panel. So here we are adding the panel to the content pane. We are adding a panel to the content frame. So what we did, J frame equal to Swing color chooser test, frame dot set default close operation. Now we are making the panel as a component. We are making the panel as a component. Why? We are adding the panel to the J component, and then we are setting opaque to true, and then frame dot set content pane to new content pane means what? Indirectly we are adding the panel to the frame. In simple terms, after we create a panel, we should add it to the panel, isn't it? Sorry, we have to add it to the frame. The way we do components, whenever we create any component like button, label, we use add method. Frame dot add, we will add the buttons. Yes or no?
Yeah.
This way we do, isn't it?
Yeah.
We take components, and then we add them to the frame. F dot add. All we have to must and should we have to add the components to the frame. Yes. Similarly, we have taken instead of add button, the panel should be added using the J component. So we are first assigning, we are making, or we are adding the panel to the component, and then that component we are adding it to the frame. Okay, frame dot set content pane. So here it sets the content property. This method is called by the constructor. Swing's painting architecture requires an opaque J component in the container hierarchy. This is typically provided by the content pane. If you replace the content pane, it is recommended you replace it with the opaque J component. So usually we use content panes in order to add the panel. We add the panel to the content pane, and then we add the content pane to the frame. It's because to get a good look and feel. J component new content pane equal to new swing color chooser test. Now what is the swing color chooser test? It is of type panel. It is of type panel object. Okay, now we are adding the type panel object to the J component so that it gets the built-in look and feel features, and that we are adding to the frame, and these are frame.pack and frame.set visible to true. Okay, so this we are running it as a thread. This GUI create and show GUI, we are running it as a thread. So now this will run in parallel to the main method. This will run in parallel to the main method. Is this part clear? Now this is a frame title. This is a frame title. This is a label title. Swing color chooser is a label here. And to the label, we are adding a background color and foreground color. If we change any color here, it is changing the foreground color because of the change listener. Is this part clear? And this is a preview. And this all is built in. Swatches, HSV, HSL, all this is predefined. We haven't implemented any code for this. Any doubts in this?
No.
Okay. So this one thing we will see, and then we can stop for the day. Just like labels, buttons, text fields, text areas, you have something called menus. You can implement menus. So which is J menu bar. To the menu bar, you can add Here it is a menu bar. To the menu bar you can add menus. To the menu bar you can add menus. Okay, now this is a menu bar. This is a menu bar, and individual components are, individual cells are menu 1, menu 2, menu 3, and menu 4, just like the way we have in our systems. When you open a file menu, now this is a file menu. This on the menu bar. Now this we call it as a menu bar. On the menu bar you have file menu, and you can add components to the file menu. Similarly to the home, this also you can add. In a home you have all these menu bar items. So here you can implement this. So this is nothing but a menu bar. This is menu 1, this is menu 2, this is menu 3, and this is menu 4. And this entire thing is a menu bar. This you can implement using Swing components. So simply what you have to do, instantiate menu bar, instantiate menu, and give a title, sample menu, and add it to the menu bar. Simple. Okay, just take menu bar, because we have a predefined class, because all are hooked items in our Swing API. Okay, so from Swing API you have to select this menu bar and then add components to it. JMenu, add it. And menu item. Now inside the menu, if you have any item inside the menu, now it is a first menu. Now inside this you will have menu items. All these are nothing but menu items. All this is nothing but menu items. Let's say this is file menu. This is file menu, and here you have new, open, save, close, like this. All these are menu items. Okay, now this is called as menu item. Are we clear so far?
Yeah.
Okay, so menu dot add, and next take a frame. You add frame dot set j menu bar to menu bar, set visible to true, and then set size. Okay, so let's save this and execute. So here is a sample menu. Now you have to write events for this. For example, when I select this menu item label, what should happen? Let's say a new text area should open, or so that I can type the content. So in this way, you can implement a simple text editor file. Okay, inside the file, you can use new, open, save, close. When you click on the new, what should happen? A text area should come here. You should be able to type the text, and then if you click on save, it should be saving in the local disk. In this way, you can simply implement a sample editor. Okay, you can take it as an assignment. For this weekend, you please take this as an assignment, implementing a simple text editor with creation of file, storing a file, and exiting a file. Okay. We have seen all these things. I think grid layout I have explained. It will be displaying the contents in the grid format. So it is nothing but grid layout, individual grids. All buttons we have taken using a for loop, and then we are adding all those components to the C using the container class. Since it is a AWT package, instead of J component, we used container. Container CP equal to get content pane. content dot container dot set layout to new grid layout, 10 rows, 2 columns. Now for int I equal to 0, I less than 20, you generate the buttons and then add it to the content pane. That's it. And run it as new grid layout test. Okay. So why are we using run method? Because we have implemented it as a public static void run. JApplet into width comma height. Okay, because it extends applet. Now applet is one more frame kind of thing, but it is not a frame. It is executed by the applet viewer in the browser. An extended version of java.applet.applet that adds support for the Swing component architecture and which can be used for running applets. But nowadays, we are not using applet technology. Okay, we are not using applet technology, but still you should know like there is a component called JApplet in Swings component, which you can run without a main method. Do you see any main method here? Do we have any main method in this class?
No.
No. So here the run itself acts as a main method. Okay. The run method acts as a main method inside the applets. Applets do not have main method because usually these applet programs are executed inside the browsers with the help of applet viewer. So that is the reason we don't have main method here. Anyway, we are not using applets anymore, but just for your knowledge purpose, I am taking this example. Okay. So any doubts on this? With this, we can stop. GUI package, I'll forward all these examples to you. I'll share it. So you can just have a R&D on this applications. And as an assignment from this, I'll give you create a sample application or a sample text editor. This is your assignment. Okay. Create a sample text editor with file menu, edit menu. File and edit menus I want. Okay, if you can implement other menus also, not a problem. And you should explain this. Okay, when will you do this?
It could be a while.
Excuse me, just tell me.
Yeah. Yeah, I said it could be a while. I won't be able to do much for the next 2 weeks or so.
So it would take a 1 week time. 1 week would be comfortable, I think.
No, I might need more than a week because I just have a lot of work from school.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Means when we complete HTML, JavaScript, and when we start servlets, you should be able to do this.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sai. We will connect tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday, right? So will you be able to join in the morning? Because we have.
So it'll be. Do you want to do it on? It'll be Saturday tomorrow for me. So you want to do it on Saturday morning USA time or Saturday evening USA time?
Today is Saturday morning for us.
Okay, it's Friday night for us.
So for me, evening means for you Saturday morning. So at what time you will be available in the morning time?
So around like 9:30 a.m. USA time. So
Okay, means 8 p.m. IST.
Okay.
All right, then today I'll connect because we have missed so many classes. So today 8 p.m. I'll be able to join you in the session and we will start off HTML. I think I have shared PPT with you, right? HTML PPT.
Yeah, you can.
All right, so please go through it. We will start off directly with the applications.
All right.
Anyway, I'll discuss important points, a quick glance of what are all components, HTML components, and then we will see the examples.
Okay.
Thank you, Sai.
Thank you.